Once upon a time, deep under the sea, there was a very mysterious palace at the bottom of the ocean. The Sea King lived there with his family. His queen had long passed, so his mother cared for the home. The King of the Sea had 6 beautiful princesses, but the most beautiful was the youngest princess. She had soft skin, blue eyes, and a shiny fish tail. Her greatest joy was hearing her grandmother's stories about ships and cities in the human world above. She loved knowing that flowers on land had fragrance, while sea flowers did not. Her grandmother said that mermaids could live for 300 years, but then they would become bubbles in the water. The Little Mermaid asked, "Is there a way to get an immortal soul?" Her grandmother answered, "Only when a human falls in love with a little mermaid." "When can I go to the land to see?" the Little Mermaid asked. Her grandmother said, "When you are 15 years old." So the land became her greatest desire. Soon the little princess sisters were all 15 years old. They shared stories about the beautiful things they saw on the surface. Every time she listened, she was fascinated. "When can I be 15 years old?" she often wondered. She looked out at the sea, dreaming of people on land and hearing church bells. Finally, the little princess turned 15. One night, she saw a boat. People on the boat were playing wonderful music. There was a young prince among them. He had big eyes and black curly hair. It was his birthday, and fireworks lit up the sky. Suddenly, a wave struck the sea. A big storm came. The boat began to tilt, and soon it overturned. Everyone fell into the water. The Little Mermaid realized they were in danger. She dived deep into the sea. When she reached the prince, he was unconscious. Quickly, she pulled the prince's head out of the water. At dawn, the storm stopped, and the Little Mermaid dragged the prince to the shore. When the church bell rang, a young woman arrived with a group of people. The prince woke up and smiled at the young woman, but did not recognize the Little Mermaid. Sadly, the Little Mermaid returned to the bottom of the sea. She wanted to become human more than anything. Her sisters warned, "Human life is short." But the Little Mermaid said, "I'm ready." Her grandmother added, "Then you must trade your tail for legs." One day, the Little Mermaid slipped away from home. Through a swirl of bubbles, she reached the Sea Witch's cave. "I know why you're here," the witch said. "I can give you legs," said the Sea Witch, "but every step will feel like walking on knives." "I can bear it," whispered the Little Mermaid, her voice trembling. The Sea Witch warned, "If you fail to win the prince's love by the first morning, you'll become a bubble on the sea." "I'm not afraid," said the Little Mermaid. The witch cast her spell, stealing the mermaid's beautiful voice. The Little Mermaid became mute. She could no longer speak or sing. Quietly, she came out of the blue sea and reached the beach. When the sun shone on the water, the mermaid princess awoke. She saw the prince standing in front of her. She looked down and saw her tail had become legs. "Who are you?" he asked. She gazed at him with sad, silent blue eyes, unable to speak. The prince held her hand and led her into the palace. The Little Mermaid felt that every step was like walking on sharp canes, but she endured it silently. Her feet bled with every step, yet she smiled. The prince cared for her deeply, but marriage was never in his heart. He told the Little Mermaid, "Once my ship sank. A woman saved me. The person I love is her." The mermaid wanted to tell him the truth, but she could not speak. One day, the prince met a princess from another land. When he saw her, he said, "You are the one who saved me." The Little Mermaid stayed silent, her heart full of sorrow. Soon, the prince and the princess were married on a large ship. In the evening, everyone celebrated. The Little Mermaid sat quietly, full of grief. She knew that tomorrow morning she would die and become a bubble on the sea. Just then, her sisters rose from the waves. They handed her a knife and said, "We gave our hair to the Sea Witch for this. Before sunrise, if you pierce the prince's heart, you will live and be a mermaid again." With sad eyes, they sank back into the sea. A little princess walked to the prince. She looked at him with a joyful face. then down at the sharp knife in her hand. She trembled. In the end, she threw the knife into the sea. Then she sadly jumped into the water. When the sun rose, the little mermaid became a bubble, but she did not feel gone. Her spirit rose higher, filled with love, hope, and the promise of an immortal soul.